all. So, I was in. So it was in many places we go. Went to Washington D.C. first, and then stayed few days, and then went to where in South Jersey, one place, and there's a gathering. So I addressed that. Next day I went to New York. There is one group. Our centers are now closed. Sarvadevananda Swami is here and there. So after that, I went there for one short time. And from then I went to Risley. And Risley I was there, I called you from there. I think that is someone is pushing too much for legal things. But I think Gita Prana and myself thought that it is not so much necessary. Let us see, we should be part of the group, not we, the major people to protest against that.
Right. I spoke with Carl and said we have a plan now.
Yeah. So, and then that board meeting was over, and then we went to Connecticut. There is a search for property search. They are searching for a home to have a center of their own. So we went, saw so many places, but not suitable.
Where in Connecticut did you go? Where in Connecticut?
Connecticut, Shelton.
Where is it?
Shelton.
Oh.
Bridgeport.
Okay.
So around that place, if there is some church or something, because zoning is a problem always. Because of the lack of zoning, then we have to vacate now. That has become a problem in New Jersey. They have purchased a property, and it was going on for 2 years. But somebody, only 3 or 4 neighboring people. 3 people or 4 people in a neighboring. And only one person complained. Because it was the annual celebration, so more than 100 people came.
Oh, wow.
And they went to door, invited them also. This is our celebration, would you please come?
Can I move it a little bit? Because no, it's not from this side probably. From the other side.
Let it fall down.
Yeah.
Let it fall down.
Yeah, so if you move to this chair, then the charger can be put.
Is there an extension cord in the bookstore?
Usually Swami sits closer to this side. And Durga wasn't here to move it, and it's so hard for me to move those chairs. That's why you cannot reach it. Yeah.
So,
is there a plug on the other side?
That's okay, it's not necessary. It's a funny thing for. I don't see even no viewer yet. Only 2-3 people may see it, and we are very happy to have.
Some people from India, they follow. They are very much interested.
So this then so that's why we have to search for a zoning, which is zoned for church, and we have to have some our requirement by some. Church is good, but church is always not available, and the size and some maybe huge one which you don't need, and also price is so high. And in zoning, business zoning, if we go, there may be some whom we have tried to find, but business zoning is one thing. Parking spot. We have to share parking or find parking. Who will give? All these are problems. So we went. Atmagyanananda was also with me from this day onward, and we went to so many spots to watch and check. Nothing we could decide.
Sounds fun.
But it is not, because I come away and then this slows down again. It goes on and on and on. Then we went again to New Jersey, and New Jersey took back. That's the point. And New Jersey also, because that is now closed, they are trying to find another spot. So 2 places search for property. Okay, so we are back to our reading this chapter of devotion, where it was talked about chanting the name of the Lord, and it's a congregational music or singing bhajan together. That was glorified. How much important is this? So we are on the page 193. Got it? So here the question, what attributes of the Lord Hari are to be praised? A reply is given in the words of Brahma to the effect that his attributes are endless, and so man may select whatever he likes. How to glorify the Lord, how to keep the mind in the Lord, means how you think of his greatness, how you think of his grandeur, and what will be those areas to focus. So that was here is given an idea so that we can choose our prayers and praise. Singing is one way, chanting is one way, and also meditating on the glories of the Lord, that's also another. So to compare the glories and attributes of Sri Hari, means the Lord, is impossible even for a wise man who is supposed to possess the power to calculate the number of particles of dust comprising the earth. It is little emotional. Bhakti school is sometimes hyper. They use the language which is very. There are as many dust in the ground is there. A scholar, a wise person can count. But to count the glories of God is impossible for a wise person even. So it's giving, that means it is endless. Glories of God is endless. So you can praise God in whatever way you like. No? So today there was a meeting here. That's why
Yes.
the table was little. So
And Durga isn't here. He usually does something with his chairs. Your chair too. She puts it over here.
Interreligious. LA, Los
Interfaith.
Angeles Interreligious Council. That meeting were here. So they're saying how to pray. That was their question. How to pray. Someone said, no, we should pray our own prayers. Someone said, no, we should somehow universal prayer. This type of confusion, interfaith. How you can say the only Lord Christ prayer, is that the prayer? And in interfaith context, is it good? Some say we should not dilute our prayers. My God, I said ultimately, I think that God is only one. You praise in whatever way you like. It does not bother. And then I said that this is the place where this preaching of this harmony of religion is going on since 1930s. It is continuing till today. So this is the point, that how to praise the God, which language they are thinking. My language is correct or your language is correct. Huh? So, and they don't understand the God is only one. You're talking about interfaith. Till to understand very simple fact that we are calling upon God in our way. But some may say that Christ is the only way. Some may say that my Buddhistic path is the only way. But Buddhas will not say. Hindus will not say. It is Christians and Islamic people and other different dogmatic groups. they may say. So that is here the to compute the glories and attributes of the Lord is impossible. If you say in how many ways you can praise God, how many ways you can think of the glory of God, that no one can really jot down. But because even the wise man who is supposed to possess the power, he has the special power to calculate the number of particles of dust which comprising this earth he can do, but that person cannot, wise man, cannot even uh, compute the glories of God in one place. So wonderful are his powers that as the Vamana covering the worlds with his 3 steps, there is a story, Vamana. They are all in this Bhagavat is such a book. It carries so many beautiful stories behind. The Lord came in the form of in the form of disguise. There is a great king. That king's name was করতেই হবে তো You have opened from where? Brought it from my room.
No.
Then
Puja with the preparation room with that
okay.
how to say that we set up that table for the evening lecture.
Okay.
They have all this power cord and everything.
Wow.
Smart girl. Good job.
So he said that the Vamana story is that there is a king whose name was Bali, B-A-L-I, Bali. He was very generous, very good king, and anyone comes to ask for anything, Bali will be giving that. You ask for anything, money, wealth, land, prosperity, these that he will. So, and he got little proud that I am the greatest giver in the world, no? So, to destroy that pride, see, it is a good pride, but still God does not like that. So, God appeared in the form of a Vamana. Vamana is a dwarf person, dwarf, small height person. So, he came and asked, he appeared, and Bali said, "Oh, please come, and what do you want? What can I do for you? What I can give you? You will give me anything, but I don't need much. But if you are willing to give me 3 steps of land." A dwarf man, he is asking for 3 steps of land. And Bali says, "What's the matter? You ask more. 3 steps is nothing. You take it now." Well, no, okay, so you give me, you promise you give me. Yes. And he took the cosmic form. And 1 feet covered the whole earth. That's the story goes. And his second feet, because he was the king of the earth and heaven. So, Bali, where shall I put my next feet? Bali said, "Okay, heaven is under my control." So he put another feet, an entire heaven is covered. And Bali, where shall I put my third leg? Then he said, "Put it on my head." That means humbled. Even, and that is the story, the poem Bali, that he is referring to again. So wonderful are his means God's power, that as the Vamana, the dwarf person, dwarf appearance, covering the worlds with his 3 steps, he held together through his puissance. Puissance, what is that? Puissance? Puissance.
I'll look it up.
What is puissance? This language. Puissance. He held together through his puissance the whole cosmos from Satyaloka down, as it trembled and whirled under the speed of the movement of his feet. An alternative translation: see how by his positions he held together the whole universe in himself, while everything in it, from pradhana to the rudimentary state of prakriti up to satyaloka, the most highly evolved state, moved at terrific speed by the irresistible might of his feet.
It means situation,
Baba.
power, and strength.
Huh? Situation.
Situation, power, and strength.
Oh. Why to use such a word?
I don't know.
Situation, power, or strength. Okay.
Yeah.
By he hold together through his power of strength, okay, the whole cosmos. The story says that by his touching his feet and expanding himself, the whole world was trembling and was in movement. And from the rudimentary element to the 24 cosmic principles up to Satyaloka. Satyaloka means Hindus have different concepts of lokas, mean planes. Only Christianity will have one hell and one heaven. But Satya, there are 7 planes in Hinduism, upper regions, and 7 lower regions. Satya. So Satyaloka is a higher region, goes on. Satyaloka, it's called the Mahajana Tapa Satya, etc. I forgot 7. And below is 7. So all these 7 planes of existence is very big idea of the cosmos. Suppose you see that this world is so big for us, and now he is giving the concept that this world and finer levels of existence in different mental level and go up before merging into Brahman, that final loka, Satya, Mahajana, Tapa, Satya. These are different flights of Ramakrishna also saw in mystic vision, no? When his mind was soaring high up, and he said that I saw the different gods and goddesses in different planes, and he moves up, his mind soars up and enters into a realm of absolute non-dualistic state, as it were. And there he saw Swami Vivekananda, a yogi. 7 yogis are deeply absorbed in meditation. So Sri Ramakrishna saw like that. So it is different mental state. Maybe only great spiritual people can see them. He says that all this plane up to this and that is moved at a terrific speed by the irresistible might of his feet. That means he's putting his foot like that. It is such a power that it is whirling the whole universe, as it were. So though I am Brahma, he's saying Brahma, the creator, he's saying, oh, I am Brahma, I have no understanding of the extent of the mysterious power of the Lord. Do you get it? This is being praised, this praise is by Brahma, where 3 trinities in Hinduism, Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. Brahma is the creator God, Vishnu is the sustaining, and Shiva is the Lord of destruction. So he is saying that this Lord means the Supreme Lord he is talking, who is above. Again a category. And as you go in dualism, there is no end of categorizing, higher and higher and higher. The Lord who comes as incarnation, the Ishvara, he splits his power in 3 divisions, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. These 3 aspects are coming from the same reality. And that is from Brahman. Brahman, when it does not do anything. It does not create, it does not destroy, it does not sustain. There is no two, no you, no me, no sun, no moon, no stars, no galaxies. That is the one absolute truth. So that is indescribable. Now, when he comes into one level down, he becomes Ishvara. Then he says, I am one, I shall be many. That level, that is Ishvara. And that has divided into 3 categories in Hinduism for well management. How shall I be many? It is not an irrational, sporadic idea. I will create, I will maintain, I will sustain, I will destroy to recreate again. And in that creation, 24 principles are coming. 24 principles, mind, intellect, ego, individually. Cosmic principle, 24 cosmic principles. So how the individual is created now. So the whole creation, he says, even this, though I am Brahma, Brahma is describing the glory of Ishvara, from whom the Brahma came. Brahma came, Vishnu came, and Shiva came. So he says, I cannot describe the glory of that Lord who has come down and played like a Brahman or the dwarf man who destroyed the pride of Boli. So I cannot describe his glory unless people. That's why when the scholars, the pundits in India, they take these verses, they keep the people captivated with stories and singing and music. Because when you talk, I forgot also the details of the stories. That's why I'm not making it much interesting. But they know all these Puranic stories about Bali, and he will tell how Bali came into existence, how he was a good king. He will describe from there and give the idea of the power of the Lord who came down as the dwarf person before the king Bali to test or destroy his little ego. Though ego, good ego is good rather than bad ego towards the beginning, towards in a lower level. A bad person is bad, a good person is better. And now you become very good, but still fine level of ego, pride, arrogance inside, wisdom. I am a man of wisdom. All these remain. To be a bhakta, you will have to destroy everything. So he is showing that even the greatest king who excels in all good qualities of being charitable, being kind, being protecting, being helping to everyone, and all the good noble qualities, but still he had the pride, I am the greatest giver in the world. There is no parallel to me. That type of ego should be abolished. And this incident details that story. So simply, it says that, simply is saying that I cannot describe the glory of Lord. In the Gita also it says, in the 11th chapter, it says that, O Lord, when the Lord, he asked, Arjuna asked Krishna, could you show me your cosmic form, divine form? I want to see it. No? And then what happened? When he appeared in the cosmic form, and then Arjuna saw in the body of Krishna. Krishna became all pervasive as it were. And in his body he is seeing the sun, moon, stars, galaxies, and all the big warriors, etc. They're nothing. They're like dust, petty dusts in the ground. So all this, seeing that, like Arjuna, who is such a great warrior, he actually became very humble and he said, please, please forgive me. I didn't know you, I thought that you are my friend. I played with you, I laughed with you, and I make spanks and jokes and all these things. Now you see you are such great. Please, please, please forgive me my failures and friend. Please excuse me and come down. I cannot withstand you this cosmic form. So it is ordinary mind, even exceptionally powerful mind, cannot contain themselves when they see the glory of the Lord. So that glory of the Lord cannot be described in any human language. That is the main point. And they are bringing these stories. Those who know these stories, they can really enjoy the inner sense of these expressions. So here he says, oh, Brahma is saying, though I am Brahma, the creator, I have no understanding of the extension of the mysterious power of the Lord. And Brahma is created by whom? God.
Yeah.
So Brahma says, I am the creator of the whole cosmos. I cannot fathom how great is that Lord. Ramakrishna, our Swamiji also, Swami Vivekananda talked about Ramakrishna in that way. What he said exactly, I forgot that. You can ask me to do any impossible thing in the world, I can do that. But don't ask me to write about Ramakrishna. I have not understood him. Vivekananda says, I have not understood him. So, those who are great people, they will know much more the glory of an incarnation. Who is incarnation? It looks like a human being. So, similarly, he's talking about the incarnation of Krishna here. No? In Vaishnava idea, in the Bhagavad idea, everything is Vishnu, the Lord Krishna. Krishna came in this form. Krishna became the Vamana, the dwarf guy. So Krishna became Rama. Even Ramakrishna said, he who is Rama, he who is Krishna, he is Ramakrishna. So Krishna is in the whole text. Krishna is the Supreme Lord. And that's why when ISKCON people talk about Krishna, from their perspective, they think of Krishna in a dimension, bigger dimension, and that almost as we consider like Brahman. See. No, nor do your elders, the foremost among the Munis, know. Adisesha, the first of all the divinities, has ever been singing about his glories with all his 1,000 mouths, and yet is nowhere near exhausting them. This is another story. Adisesha, there is a snake. The snake is called 1,000-faced snake is there. And the Lord Narayana lies down. You see, I've seen a pose that Lord Narayana is lying down and the snake, hood of the snake is like that. So this is called the Adisesha. This snake is Adisesha. But the snake is not ordinary snake. It is only to contain when the entire universe becomes deluged in water. In the Puranic stories, that Adisesha snake coils up and the Lord Narayana rests there. So, and Adisesha's every 1,000 face, each face is only speaking about the glories of the Lord and Narayana. So, says that even in 1,000 faces, the Lord Narayana is trying to praise, and the snake is trying to praise the Lord. He cannot exhaust, even saying. That means in 1,000 mouth you cannot express the glory of the Lord. Simple thing, if we take for our purpose. Because I am also not good at Puranic stories and things. A little bit here and there, I remember only. But I may mess up something also. Because the exact stories I sometimes.
Well, want to talk on mouse.
Which story?
অনন্ত সজ্জা অনন্ত সজ্জা অনন্ত সজ্জা
Vishnu.
বিষ্ণু অনন্ত সজ্জা
Google may know.
Okay, so here it says 53 and 54. Again, this is another version, the same translation in a different translation of the same two verses. This book, I have read this translation, the same translation, another book, another author has done, And this heat is, who can count the heroic deeds of Lord Vishnu? Not even he who can count, his language is little simpler. Not even he who can count the atoms of the dust of the earth can count the heroic deeds of Lord Vishnu. He who covered the world, including the Shattaloka, by his unbroken speed, shaking the entire world of nature. Not I, nor you, elder brothers. That means who is the elder brother? Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanatana, Sanat Kumara. These are all, see again some Puranic stories. These are four. One word, he says, Brahma is saying that neither you nor your elders. Elders means the four Rishi Kumars. They are called, when God created the universe, God created two paths. One path for going through the experience of life, another for the path of renunciation. So that path, the path of freedom, that is given by the four Rishi Kumar, creating special spiritual personalities. They are called Suka, Sanandana, Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanatana, Sanat Kumara. These are the four ever free souls created by God at the very beginning of creation. So even they are the oldest people who know about God first. Even they are not capable of describing your glories, have comprehended the powers of that being. Much less can anyone else find his bottom. The God Ananta, with his 1,000 heads, singing his praise, cannot finish recounting all the deeds of glory of his many avatars, incarnations. Now, another two verses are there. We are reading for so many days. These two verses are there.
Who are the one that follow the external path?
Hmm?
You said the internal path leading to moksha.
Oh, yeah, that is the path of world. In the path of the world, nobody needs to teach. The path of the worldliness, anyone can learn. There is nothing needed to be taught. You eat, then nobody needs to teach. Naturally, body, so long body is there. You want to see something beautiful, you want to enjoy something, hearing some music, all the five senses and its attached objects are there. So that is, no teacher is necessary to train there. But being entangled, how to get out, that is the lesson he's talking about. Path of pravritti means it is natural, instinctive. It is, look at that in the world, animal world, even in the trees, plants, the creation goes on, no, without effort. How the plants are fertilized, no, it is like seeds are being blown away by the wind, and it falls somewhere, and seeds are get with the natural water and fertilizer is there, so they sprout out. So, and human being also, it is a natural thing to have the life of experiencing the world is very natural. But when getting entangled into it, the path of going out, that is the teacher is necessary. Now, 55 verse on page 193. He who tries to exhaust by calculations the excellences of the infinite being is indeed a childish mind. Perhaps in the course of ages it may be possible to count how many particles of dust constitute the earth, but not so to determine exhaustively the attributes and glories of the Lord, who is the source of infinite power. It's the same thought, same ideas repeated. Here also they say, he who strives to count the virtues of the infinite is a fool. God's infinite glories, if anyone wants to understand and finish that I understand everything of God's glory, he is a fool. He may perhaps be able to count the atoms of the dust of the earth in the course of time, if it is possible, even if it is possible, but not the glorious acts of Him who is the storehouse of all forces. Our Dobson used to say, John Dobson used to say, you know how many stars in the sky? He used to give a graphic idea. He used to say, think about 3 acres of land. His concept. And this 3 acres is filled with sand. 3 acres of land, 3 feet height. Who knows how this calculation he derived? But 3 acres of land, just imagine, 3 acres of land, and it is 3 feet height, all filled with sand. How many stars in the sky? As many sands. He is to give an idea of what you call the infinitude of this creation. If the stars like that, now you think only he is counting about the stars and not for the planets.
Galaxies.
Galaxy will be addition of the stars, no? So anyhow, that means infinitude. Question of that infinitude is incomprehensible. And God's glory is also. Because who created? Now you come to the point. If you see, we feel overwhelmed looking at the sky. Really, you go to any dark night in a Santa Barbara-like place when there is no more light, you look at the stars. I sometimes come out at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock to see the sky, It's really fantastic. See, and as you look, you see more and more. I am open up with the open eyes. If you have some telescope, telescope, then you can see better. But even then, it reveals so much and more and more and more coming out, and it is only one portion of the sky, no? What to understand about the extent of the creation? And now then you go, after that you go to the point that it is the stars are the sand particles in how many number? That much number of sand particles. You cannot count. And then now you want to count the human being, the creation, the planets, the how many planets are there? God knows. People who will be able to fathom what is there in 1 trillion light year away, some star, some galaxy or some stars. Only we are thinking we are the only human element. That's why many fiction has been created, no? This coming from other planets and this and that extraterrestrial zone. Is how much the creation is impossible to think. And if you think that it is impossible, creation is impossible. Who has created? How will you fathom him? Whose brainchild is this universe? Who will talk about that? So this is the thing. A devotee will look at the nature and just go into that absorption. That I am thinking of God. See, here is Vedanta coming. It's a bhakti school. It is talking and teaching us to love God with devotion. But who is your God of love? Whom you are loving is Vishnu. They, if you go to the Hare Krishna people, they will not accept this my statement. But if I argue this way, it is Bhagavad is their only book which they think that the most authentic book which they refer every page of it as true and true and true. If we put this question, if this verse says so, this universe is nothing and this is only the gross universe. Now come to the point. Don't think that is all finished here. It is only gross part we are saying about the stars will be like 3 acres of land and filled with sand. Mean how many, count the number of sands? That many stars. This is physical. It is can be seen by microscope, telescope, all these things. And now think, they talk about different finer planes of existence, heaven, different planes of heaven and things. Could you imagine what is that extent? And who has created what, the brainchild? Who is that? And how? What is his glory? Who can fathom it? So this is the essence. We have to take this spirit from this reading of this chapter. That means when you think of Ramakrishna, or you think of Krishna, or you think of Christ, you have to think in that perspective. That you are thinking that he is Krishna, he has come down in the human form. He is your Rama or your Christ or your Buddha. But who is this person? That's why it is said impossible to fathom. 56. If this is Akrura's, in Akrura's words, it is stated that the presence of even a little of the divine sentiment in an otherwise secular literary production would make it acceptable. In Akrura's words, it is stated that the presence of even a little of the divine sentiment in an otherwise secularly literary production would make it acceptable. Meaning what? Complex sentence. If literary productions are at least partially mixed with the description of the attributes and the workings of the Lord, the most auspicious, sinless, and sanctifying entity, then they purify the world and give it light and life. Even those who are have great skills in literary production, that means they can express better way. No, whose literary grace is, we call literary grace. The great writers, they can express simple thought in a expanded way. So that is their skill. So even that type of person, partially mixed with that little love for God, and this partially mixed with the description of the attributes and workings of the Lord, who is most auspicious, who is sinless and sanctifying unity, then they purify. This type of description, if anyone tries to write, they, by thinking of the glories of the Lord, they will purify themselves. And by that type of literature, others will be purified. If we cannot describe ordinary person, we have no idea of the, say Rabindranath Tagore, in his poems he has expressed, Wordsworth in so many places he has expressed, how the Whitman in the poems have expressed the glory of the Lord in different areas. So they have literary grace and literary way of expressing simple thing in a poetic way. So if this type of people even try to express the glories of the Lord, then what will happen? It will benefit them, and also it benefit those who come to hear about that or listen and try. Yes.
Well, even Sharat Chandra,
Mm.
he was known as Copper Silky, means artist of words. He could describe such vague ideas in very few words. That was his talent.
All the writers, special writers, they can express one simple thought in so many expressive way. So if they try to express the glories of the Lord in this way, that will not benefit even little bit attempt they do. It will benefit them, as also it will benefit the world who will listen to them. This other book translates it this way, that the words that go to form the auspicious narrative of his birth, deeds, and virtues. No, he who strives to, it is with 50, 56, 56. 56. The words that go to to form the auspicious narrative of his birth, deeds, and virtues, having the power of destroying all sins. Such words animate, adorn, and sanctify the world. He is not talking about literary productions. He is not saying anything. This is the translation. When you translate something, it's difficult. But to be true to the original, or you add your own flavor to express certain ideas. Here is a third person talking something. It is saying the words that go to form the auspicious narrative of his birth, his many gods, the Krishna's birth, Krishna's deeds, and his virtues, having the power of destroying all sins. Such words animate, adorn, and sanctify the world. That means he's talking about that when someone is describing the glory of the Lord Krishna uh, in this auspicious narrative about how he was born, how he played with the gopis in his childhood, how he fought against injustice, how he changed the whole India of that time to a spiritual continent. No, so if anyone thinks of the glories of like that, he will be free from sin, and such words will help others to get out of them. And the last verse, singing in this manner, this here, a person who resorts to the auspicious and enthralling accounts of the Lord's incarnation and of his exploits and his doings in the childhood, as given in this work and in others, like the Vishnu Purana, will progress in the path of Paramahamsas, attaining supreme devotion in this life and liberation hereafter. There's a conclusion that if a person actually can resort to the enthralling stories of the Lord when he appeared, like in Christianity they do, they think of Christ, his play, his particularly the last particle cross, bearing the cross and last part of his life. They think of that, and that make them emotional, identify with Krishna, with the Christ and his pain and his suffering. So by that way they purify themselves. That's why they feel the what you call stigmata. When they get identified, deeply identified, they identify with the glories, now the pain. The God has come down in human form, and when he was taken to be put into the what you call nailing and etc. How Christ was carrying the cross himself, how the feeling the pain. That's the way of. But Hinduism is little better way. It is a painful way of connecting with God. But Hinduism has divine play. Krishna singing, dancing with the gopis, in charm, in sweetness, in like a small baby. Go to see any baby. In any baby playing, how do you like it? Anyone, there's irrespective of any person in any level, a baby smile, a baby crawling, a baby is doing something naughty or sweet is all pleasing. And when God plays those roles in say Krishna's childhood, Sri Chaitanya's childhood, Ramakrishna's childhood, they're so parallel. And then even when they're in sweet language, Ramakrishna life and Christ life, you can find simile. Christ was not found when his parents went to visit some temples and in Jerusalem, and then his mom and dad in the crowd thought that the boy is somewhere in the crowd, but when they went to the next place, they find that the boy is gone. Where is the boy? The mom became very worried and came back, and they maybe let us see whether still he is in the other temple where we left it. And they went and he saw that Christ is sitting among many wise people, elderly people, and Christ is giving a potential advice to all of them, solving their problems. No? In Ramakrishna's example, we find in a village, when the Pandits come, and he will be sitting over there to listen to the discussion. There is an open platform by the Pandit. That was the Indian style. And in Judaism also probably that style was there. Wise people will come to temple and they will interact with each other. And by that way the gathering will know the spiritual discourses, what is the conclusive idea of that. So as Christ was solving the problems of those people, similarly here we find Ramakrishna is sitting in the Kamarpukur area. There is a place, and scholars are having debate and question and answer. And Sri Ramakrishna, a young boy, Gadai, is sitting over there with rapt attention, listening to them. And when they are in confusion, they are debating, what is the conclusion? And Ramakrishna is to give a solution there. So you see the similar stories. Similar stories we find that, Christ was immaculate. Immaculate birth. That is the miracle. Ramakrishna is a miracle. Ramakrishna, how he was born. Look at that. Ramakrishna's father was in Gayadham. In those days, 300, 400 miles away from the birthplace. He went to a holy place of pilgrimage to offer some offering to Lord Vishnu. There is a temple, Vishnu temple, for the forefathers. It is believed that if you don't offer those things, then those souls don't get liberated. So, as a child of the family, you have the responsibility. Go and offer your worship and prayer, and then they will. And he saw, Ramakrishna's father saw at the night time, all the fathers and forefathers, they came and they blessed him that you have released us from bondage. So they blessed Shudira and then left. And there appeared Narayana, this Lord. See what we are reading. And when he appeared, he saw, and he asking Shudiram, oh Shudiram, I will be born as a child in your home. The Shudiram understood he is a poor Brahmin. He has no extra money for his own maintenance. So he said, no, don't do that, please. I am a poor guy. Where shall I get money? I will not be able to serve you. You are the Lord of the universe. Don't come to my home. Be born here. But he said, no, don't worry. I will take care of myself. Here the father saw that, you can say dream or a vision, whatever. And mother saw there in the village, so far away. In those days there was no car or plane that 300-400 miles is nothing. What is 300-400 nowadays? You go from here to San Francisco. How long it will take? But even by driving. And by plane you can go 1 hour. No? And those days it was not walking, where to go. It will take 2-3 months. And then he found that here mother saw. She was standing in front of the Shiva temple and chit-chatting with another village lady. And suddenly she found that the Shiva became brilliant and bright, and a beam of light emanating from Shiva's, the symbol of Shiva. No? And the whole inner temple became fully lighted. And he found that the light is gushing towards her, and it entered into her. And she overwhelmed, lost all outer consciousness. No? And then onward she felt that someone have entered into her womb. And the husband is there, and she is there. What is the birth? Will you say immaculate or not? And when after some time the father came back, the wife said, so simple. You are not here, but I was standing in front of the Shiva temple with this village lady, and I fell down unconscious, and I saw a beam of light came and entered into me. Some description is some type of wind entered into me, whatever the language. And the local village people didn't understand. They thought that he is the fit. eh, Sometimes uh, epilepsy. It's one type of epilepsy. So they put water and try to fan and this and that, whatever they did. But I feel somebody has entered into me since then. And the Kshudiram said, don't say don't talk about this to anybody. The Lord is coming into our home, and it's all auspicious. And it is said, the day this light, seeing the light entering into mother's womb, and the prayer there, the prosperity and the wealth and the financial condition of the family suddenly become favorable. Everything flourishing like a natural prospect of the family. That means the problems of their daily survival and all these things gradually disappeared miraculously. So that's why you see that childhood stories of Christ and Ramakrishna, we can find many similes like that in afterlife also, but it is not written. Christ's description, we don't get much description. Had we got it, we could have. Only we know. So 13 to how many years? 13, age of 13 to 32, no, 18 to 18 years or some 12 or 18 years. Christ was out. No one knows the story. Only says that he was went to yogis and meditated. Sometimes they say in India or in some isolated place. No, and Ramakrishna did that. Look at Dakshineshwar. Now it is Dakshineshwar is a town. That time it is a deep dark jungle, excepting the temple. It was full of jungle on that side, and he used to live there. And for last so many years, being a priest, taking the priestly job, only doing that job, but on the rest of the time, he is forgetful about home, about family, about whoever is there. So this type of historic study is now available. But for Christ, we do not know. That's why many ambiguous thoughts are there. But it is the same Lord comes again and again. And how they come, how they act, almost.
The story of Krishna's birth is very similar to the story of
Yeah,
Jesus' birth.
yeah. They are put into the jail, and the mystic vision came. First, his father in this Bhagavad. The description goes on. They are in the jail, and father saw a mystic vision, and there the Lord appeared with his own glory. The cell, the jail that is fully lighted, and he saw the baby Krishna, and he started meditating on that Krishna. And after some time, she conferred that meditation to Devaki, the wife, and then he appeared as a human form, and then a mystic vision happened, and how to escape him from the jail. By miraculously, all the jail doors opened up, and the guards, it was hot and humid, they were tired. A cool breeze came, and all fell asleep. One miraculous story, you can say. At a time, it is all happening. And then he got the Lord ordered his father, take the baby, carry it to the other shore. And there is a girl born there. Bring that girl, exchange that boy with the girl. Actually, the Krishna was taken in the head by the father, Basudev. And they crossed there is a river, Jamuna. It is difficult to cross the river Jamuna water, but it was sufficient water so that it is deep maybe, but it was not that he cannot carry the baby to the other shore. And then went and saw that another girl is born in a particular family. They are also fall asleep, and they exchanged the boy with the girl and brought the girl back into the jail again, and every door shut again, opened up, and the guards started guarding. It's like in between something happened in the night, and exchange was done, and then Krishna started playing in Vrindavan. That's why that story. But he was born here. And then you know the story that when Kongso got the news that the eighth child has born, so he was so excited. Now I will kill this baby, and then I will be free forever from my fear of death, because he will be my killer. No, eighth son will kill me. That is the prediction of the Lord. So I will kill today. And when he came out of surprise, he saw a girl. Then he got confused. It should be a boy. How come it is a girl? And then first he thought, I will not kill that girl. Girl is not my intention. It's a boy. But again, doubt came. Who knows? It may be God's or tricky words. It may be girl is meant by a child. Child may be more. So all types of confusion he created in his mind and tried to hold the girl and want to dash into the stone. But when he was trying to do that, it slipped from his hold, and mother appeared in the sky and appeared as a divine mother. Said, you kill me, I am the Mahamaya. I am the mistress of the whole world. My Maya, the whole world is running. You will be killed by him who is getting grown up in Vrindavan. So that was the story, and that make the statement mother did wrong. She could have not said that, but she told, and just sleep away, go away, and he created trouble for all the young. And Kamsa thought, oh my God, again, oh, he's there, he's born somewhere else. How? Anyhow, let me not take any risk. So he then ordered his soldiers to go and kill all the whatever baby you find there, born in there, like Herod, the king Herod, the same story, and killed all the children. And that's why, how? Not by sending his, it is not his territory, there is another king there. So he sent his, all called the what do you call it? These Rakshasas, demons, they can take their form. They are human, but by yogic power they have practiced such that they can take a form of a loving mother, and maybe so like that, different forms, and killing the children of all the young children like that. And they tried to kill Krishna so many times. Those studies are available there, and ultimately Krishna killed every demon like that, one after another, survived. So this is a very nice story. That if it's a story, but we find a similarity with the incarnation's birth. Okay, so let me end that, the last verse. A person who resorts to the auspicious and enthralling account of the Lord's incarnation and his exploits, and his doings in childhood, as given in this work and in others, like the Vishnu Purana, etc., what will do? If a person does, he will progress in the path of the Paramahamsas, attaining supreme devotion in this life and the liberation hereafter. So the other book translates, singing in this manner the narratives of the childhood of Vishnu's incarnations, chronicled in this and other works, which are so agreeable to descend, a man acquires the devotion of the Lord, who is the refuge of the Paramahamsas, means the pious men who have renounced the world. So, that means you sing the glory of the Krishna like this, we all can, and by that way, we can go out of the bond of birth and death and suffering. Okay, so we end the chapter here, and we'll be starting next time the chapter 6, Smarana or remembrance. This was Kirtana. We have read the 2 chapters, Sravana, Kirtana. Sravana means singing, you hear the glories of the Lord. As we are studying this book, this is hearing. And after that, you sing the glories together. Listen to the holy words like this and get intoxicated in the love of God. And now, Smarana. Smarana means memory. Simran is the same name. Smarana, it has come from the word Smarana. Smarana means remembering. Remembering the Lord, as you say, chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly. So remember Him day and night. Brother Lawrence, practice of the presence of God, Smarana. Think of the glories of God. Remember Him in every moment. Remember Him. And so they will collect some such verses from different places and we'll talk about the glory of that. How much important is this remembering factor, Smarana or remembrance, and it will unfold our spiritual development. Some places they have given little description. Okay, so Jai Ma.
That's the end of the book then, right? That will be the end of the book?
No.
There's still more. Oh yeah, there's
6.
more.
Ninefold path, no? We saw tomorrow, at the beginning we read about bhakti, developing bhakti. You see, 9 practices are necessary. Sravana, Kirtana, Smarana, তারপরে Pada Sevana, you worship the Lord, worship His feet. The Vaishnavas do every time. In the shrine, we also do. What is Charanamrita? You take, what is that? What is that? We offer, when you do the puja, we offer it at the feet of the Lord. And mentally, as if He is there and you are offering at His feet. As the Ghanta Vide, our diaphragms being so strong, your ear will be hurting. But she is strong in that.
She's very strong.
Very strong. So, and then you are offering. So, that water is purified water. That's why we take and sip. That is the Pada Vandanam. Offering flower at the feet of the Lord, washing His feet. Like when Christ went, Martha did that. Mary did that. Pour water at the feet of the Lord. In early days, in Vaishnava tradition, even I go to some Vaishnava family, I am in trouble. They will ask me to stand and then pour water and then they'll say, I will say, no, that my shoes will get wet. Shoes, no, my socks will get wet. Please. But no, we'll have to do. So that is a tradition, Vaishnava tradition. So God, you think that is God and wash His feet and take that water, which is purified water, purify us. With that we take every day. That is that's so. Bandhanam, like that, 9fold. We have read it before.
Here we say at the beginning, 7 times.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, on page 75 you can find it is written the 9fold devotion, the hearing, the narration of the glorious action and the excellences of Vishnu. Then second is chanting His name and reciting the hymns in praise. 2. Remembering of Him continuously. 3. Serving Him. 4. Worshipping Him. 5. Paying obeisance to Him. 6. Practice of servitude to Him. I am your servant, O Lord, I am your servant. And befriending Him, like all the time you think that He is with you, your friend. And making total surrender to Himself. This is the 9 steps. Bhakti practice. On page 75. 75, you can remember. Okay.
Thank you.
Jai Ma. Okay, Jai Thakur. So let us go for a cup of tea now.
Thank you.
Jai Ma.
এখনো 2জন দেখছে।